Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for anyone that lands on it. How about that? I like to do that when it's live right now while the channel is new. I want people to be able to just jump on and, stay and then maybe ask some questions after. Building up the channel is like building a relationship. You have to be consistent. And that is sometimes a challenge. Here at the Psychic Soul Healer channel, I look at the shadows. I look at the shadows and the spiritual blocks that prevent us from moving forward. And I do that by looking at what's going on in your relationship, what's going on within career, because it's not so much can it happen. A lot of times things happen for us. It's that things don't go the way that we hope that they would. So every situation when it comes to a soul relationship is karmic. People come into our life to teach us. So again, it's not about can this person come into your life? Or if you're in a relationship, are we going to stay together or are we not? A lot of times, like I said, if you have a lot of spiritual blocks, you won't. And you already know that. You're asking me that question because you already know it. The higher self knows. Everyone's higher self. The higher self is the God part of self. That's the supernatural part of self. That part of self should allow us to co-create with the universe successfully. And that also means not just the universe, but every single person in the universe. When your soulmate comes into your life, it's challenging because we wind up getting stuck between our heart and our mind. Our heart tells us one thing, but our mind says something else, especially when we have traumas, when people don't show up for us, when people have bad behaviorisms, when people get in their own way, and then we tend to take things personally. It helps to seek a reading, and it helps to seek a reading because we're able then to look at the situation from a higher perspective in order to shape shift the situation. So again, will I look and see what's going on in your relationship? Absolutely. But we are going to focus on the shadows. We are going to focus on the blocks. And again, what you need to do to integrate the spiritual lesson. Because spiritual block makes us feel not good enough, not worthy, which means we will be in a relationship with a soulmate or be connected to a soulmate of some sort, whether that's twin mate, twin flame, whether that's a past life karmic or just a soul relationship, and feel that unconditional love. But on the same token, they trigger us and we wind up staying in those relationships because there's a lot of passion. Passion allows you to transmute the spiritual wound because passion is another form of fire when we're talking about alchemy. So again, the only thing that transmutes wounds of any sort, whether they're within your relationship, whether they're within your abundance, is fire, which means you have to ground and you need to do something different to get a different outcome. So my readings are not just about what's going to happen. It's about what you can do to heal your situation, how you can integrate, this is going to drive me crazy, integrate the spiritual lesson in order for you to manifest the life and the life experiences that you want. Sorry, I had something in my teeth. Also, know this. You want to know what your spiritual blocks are, because whether you're with the person that you're tuning in today to find out what they're going to do, or you're with someone else, the same karmic experiences play out within your relationships until you learn. That's the problem with spiritual blocks. Until they are integrated, they keep playing out as karmic themes, where maybe the theme isn't always that you're a victim where someone cheats on you, but it could be, again, just all different forms of victimization you feel play out within your relationships. And then it bleeds into like other areas of your life which make you feel as if that there's something wrong when there really isn't. And like I said, break a karmic cycle so it doesn't turn into a karmic loop, and karmic loops turn into karmic contracts, which is now instead of just going through a situation, you wind up forming a karmic contract with a person until you fully learn that spiritual lesson. And the problem with karmic contracts are they usually keep us bound to like a trauma that we had in childhood, whether or not we got enough emotional love or feeling supported. So if you're in a relationship with someone that you don't feel supports you, you'll say, I've felt this way before within other areas of my life, other relationships in my life. So like I said, you want to break those karmic cycles. And so that once you do, you can, like I said, see yourself different, apply different things, see yourself different. And that is how you actually quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience, because there's many different realities that play out at one time. All right. Now, like again, anyone that lands on this. Now, if you resonate with this video, do me a favor, give me a like. It's good karma. Subscribe to the channel. And write the word of the day. The word of the day always comes from my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer deck. This deck comes with a shadow workbook that has over 100 different exercises in it for healing the shadow aspects of ourselves. Teaches you how to deepen meditation and reflection practices. Also teaches you how to do psychic readings, not just heal the shadow. All right. Now, and if you're someone that is in desperate need of a shadow reading or just needs shadow work, you might want to check out my subscriptions. I have $7.99, $9.99, and $20. And every single tier, which by the way, those are once a month, $7.99, $9.99, and $20 are the three tiers. And like I said, they all come with inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities that you would need to help recondition the effects of trauma. Because unfortunately, living in survival mode is what happens when you suffer from trauma. Your mind's a powerful thing. It's able to manifest. It can transcend time and space. This is how you can feel a past life karmic mate. That's how we recognize, signs and synchronicities. It's very powerful. Well, it also has the power to, do harm to yourself. And so in order to break karmic contracts, sometimes we need, direction, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's no easier way now than, again, to do it through a YouTube channel. You're at home. Some weeks you don't feel like doing it. Some weeks you do. And I only say that because, again, healing the shadow, you have to be consistent. And that's a lot of times when we have root chakra imbalances, we are not consistent. It's just the way that it goes. Healing is a process. And this is an affordable way that you can stay consistent in the comfortability of your home. All right. Now, again, the word of the day is going to be light. Light. Okay, so that's going to be, again, the underlining energy of your reading, light. So when we're thinking of light, obviously it's love and light. It's light. It's of source. It's of God. It's of Christ consciousness. We have to always be the vibration of unconditional love, which is actually this light. Again, because we actually feel light when we're in a place of unconditional love. We're relaxed. That's actually the vibration of the universe. So again, you might be feeling that a lot of people that aren't so light are kind of attracting to you, is what I feel. Now you're manifesting, about to manifest something. You have to understand there's always spiritual tests right before you're about to birth something. Birth something is manifest something. So you may again find that all these different types of weird energy are coming towards you. And so it's a time to really be grounded. It's a time to really, but I'm feeling again, there's also a spiritual connection that you have. And again, that soulmate connection is felt as light, it's unconditional love. Now, that doesn't mean that they're actually acting like it. What it means is this is the underlining energy. So I'm feeling as if you are about to manifest something big within your life, as well as you are connected to a karmic, but again, past life karmic mate. All your relationships are karmic, so don't get nervous when you hear the word karmic, because karmic just means learn. Now let's see what we're learning. Again, we're going to look at the triggers, your triggers, and then we're going to look at the shadows. Then we're going to see how they play out, and of course, obviously, what the hidden truths are. Look at that. That just literally popped out. Trauma. Trauma was the first card out. So I have unresolved trauma, and I took it out on you. Yeah, you're connected to somebody that is really connected to a past life karmic mate that they've been in trauma bond with for many, many, many years, and they've never really been able to get out of it. And what happens is when you're in a relationship with a karmic trauma bond and you grew up in an environment where, again, you didn't feel safe, you don't really recognize it at first. And I feel like the person, again, that's connected to your person is very manipulative, is very, knows that they don't have it, that your person doesn't have any love for them, but manipulates them and gaslights them. And so it's almost like your person keeps living these karmic cycles, and they can feel, again, that you are someone that can help them for whatever reason, is what I'm feeling, again, because of the light. Again, we attract what we need. Withdraw. I felt triggered when you withdrew emotionally. I didn't know what was going on and I panicked. And I feel like your person didn't know how to tell you that they were connected to this person. And so they pulled away. They don't communicate. Your person doesn't have a good self-esteem about themselves. They don't know how to have a conversation. And it's mainly because the person that they're connected to or have been connected to for so long knows that that your person doesn't like them, not in that love way. And the truth of the matter is, no one really should stay with someone that they know doesn't love them. Because what happens is it's not so much that you're only not robbing yourself of receiving that love that someone else could give to you, but then it distorts your perceptions. And like you become paranoid, and that's what's happening. The karmic is very like paranoid. And I feel like your person withdrew because they don't know what the person that's connected to them is going to do. Unfair. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, so they were kind of taking it out on you. They don't know how to deal with the karmic. See, again, when we grow up in an environment where we had a parent that was very demanding and didn't, like, again, let us be ourselves, where we didn't feel confident in actually being our true self, it's not uncommon to connect with someone that is overpowering and does the same thing, because the karmic lesson is really to set boundaries. Your person doesn't know how to do that. And so they're expecting you, again, associating that light with really nice, forgiving. And I'm feeling like you might do something actually within your career, like counseling, maybe work with children, maybe you're a teacher. So there's this soft energy to use where it's almost where they're expecting you to like understand, but unfairly, because like I feel things have become too unfair and you can't deal with it anymore because they have to do what they have to do. They have to break away from the karmic. And so, like I said, even though they're not happy with that person, they become so codependent on that person. And it's because they're not strong within themselves. And so, and they have a lot of trauma, because that's what happens when we go through experiences of trauma and we don't heal. We keep entering back into relationships that tend to play out in the same way, where they're in an unfair situation. They're in an unfair situation, so they're taking it out on you, again, expecting you to deal with it. So they're also kind of very selfish because that's what happens when you've gone through trauma and you haven't healed it. It's just kind of like there. Attention. Like, I need constant attention, otherwise I get irritated and jealous, and your attention is not on me. And that's what I feel like your person, again, they're attached to a karmic because of that. That they don't feel good about themselves and they constantly need attention. And there's a sense that you might not do everything that they want you to do. That there's a sense that they don't like the karmic, but they also want someone to dote on them and do everything for them. So we can see the energy here of a lot of triggers, because they don't really want you to see everything. Expectations, like, again, like, I felt disappointed and angered because my expectations were not met, where your expectations were not met. And now when you have a soulmate, and this person also kind of feels that way because you're not just going along with it easy. They have a distorted perception of what a relationship should actually look like. And the reason why is because they've been connected to a karmic that doesn't let them breathe. They don't like that energy, but they need the constant attention in order to feel loved. And that's where they, again, are in balance. That's where their wound is. There's a part of your person that doesn't know who they are. And as long as they don't know who they are, they will continue to be whoever that karmic tells them to be. So there is a spiritual connection between you and them, but your person kind of compartmentalizes, which is why you had expectations that were not met, because you're like, well, I feel this soul connection, but then emotionally, where are you for me? And it's like they can't 100% be, because they choose to live imbalanced, which is, again, unfair. So this, what I'm feeling is a lot of times it's not uncommon for you, again, to be about to manifest something big and have someone come into your life at the same time. But 9 times out of 10, the person that comes into your life will not be, there'll be a karmic for you, a test. And the test is, are you going to focus on what you need to focus on? Or are you going to focus on this person that needs all this attention and is attached to a karmic that is really like expecting you to be unfair? And what it was you said no. So what I feel like is, again, you flip the switch. Many flames can take many tries to find the right one. So again, your person, what they decided to do, because this has been going on for a long time with the karmic, and I believe with you too, but you haven't been in the life as long as the karmic. And what I feel is your person is always looking for someone else, makes excuses, almost like, if it's not going to work out with you because you're in my way, then I'm just going to keep trying again. Because that's the thing. They know that they have to step into who they are. Like, who their true self, what they truly want. Like, again, drowning. Like, again, they're going under, barely keeping things afloat. Like, again, and staying like in, like they're drowning in their own emotions because they're trying to suppress what they truly feel, because they're trying to please everyone. They're trying to figure out a way to please everyone, which is not uncommon. People have spiritual blocks when they were brought up to give their energy with someone that was overpowering, right? Someone that's overpowering, that we were afraid to actually set boundaries or do what we needed to do with that parent. And then it plays out again within the relationship. And so your person is drowning because they're not listening to their own self. They're not doing what they need to do. They're not coming from their higher self. The higher self is that intuition. Because if they were, they would be listening to their heart. They're, again, trying to strategize in their mind, which is very common for when we live in survival mode. When we live in survival mode, we're coming from a place of fear. So we're not listening to our intuition. We're doing what logically makes sense. And in that, you're not getting anything because of it. So, and they're racking up karma. But I want to see what the hidden truths are, because, like, listen, they may know that they've already damaged it so much with you, and that's why they may not come back to you, or they may realize what they're doing, that they're not giving you any time, and that they're destroying the relationship with you, and that if you're real soulmate twin flame, if you're real, nothing can keep this relationship apart. You speak to me through music. So again, subconsciously, you're there. You're still with this person in their heart. We both know I'm not the one for you. So again, this person knows that they're not strong enough for you. We need to let each other go. So your person right now is at the point where they don't know how they'll ever break away from that person, to be honest with you. There's a sense that uncomfortable in being uncomfortable, with taking a risk with you. They have to change their life. And they know that I feel like you're about to make things happen for yourself. You put energy into yourself. You can't be strong for this person and do what you need to do for yourself. And this person, again, admits that they need the constant attention. And it's, again, they get triggered. They're in a codependent connection because of that. Really, they need to let it go and stand on their own 2 feet. I just want to pull. I feel like I'm not good enough for you. So they don't feel like, because I was like, let me pull from another deck. And the real truth is, again, they don't feel good enough for themselves. So not until they heal themselves, and then they will break away from the karmic, but not until they feel good about themselves. It's like this person puts you a little bit on a pedestal, again, sees that you don't need them. I think you awaken this person to the fact that there are other types of connections that they could have. Again, they would want it only if it was like a one-sided relationship. See, I'm still pulling, like, again, the same type of negative cards. Like, they're not willing to change. Because, again, the only way that they would do it is if it was a sure thing, and they're going pretty much as if they created the same type of really imbalanced relationship that they did with the karmic. And that's the problem with your person. They don't trust themselves in relationships because they keep connecting to the same type of people. So this is why we say, so I'm saying, okay, we understand that they're in a karmic contract, and that they, again, not until they decide. So why did you have to experience this, aside from it being a karmic test? Because I know that this was a karmic test, because I said you're about to make things happen for yourself. You're in a place of light. When you're in a place of light, you're attracting abundance, because, again, the energy of God, the energy of the universe is, again, unconditional love, which is love, and light is that light energy. I think you're beautiful inside and out, and I see the light that radiates from your soul. So again, this was a soul relationship. So maybe it was about you learning about unconditional love, about seeing this person, again, really seeing that they can be a good person, and giving them some sort of encouragement. I mean, because it was a test clearly for them that they are not ready to pass, is what I see. My heart is with another right now, and I have to finish this karmic contract in order to be free. And that's, again, what comes out when I'm like, why is this? And it keeps just coming out about them. Again, what their situation is. So they're connected to someone, and not until they did. So like I said, what were we supposed to learn? Because I'm not really learning that, except for the fact that I do believe that this was a soulmate, and it could have been a karmic test, because you're about to make things happen. And seeing this person again from beautiful inside and out, it's like, well, this person, again, when we meet a soulmate, we can feel that they feel like home and they feel like unconditional love, and there is a bond there. So it was about learning. It doesn't matter if there's a bond, you're still not going to give me anything. And in that, if I was with you, I would be in a place of lack. It would always be unfair. And so it was about choosing you again and not getting lost in just a 3D connection and, sticking around and waiting for this person to get out of their situation. It was actually to do what you did and to see, okay, well, even though it's a soul relationship, person doesn't knows and they can feel it, but they're not willing to do it. Not really. Okay, open to the universe. I am discovering my worth. That's why. Again, I am discovering my worth and my abilities. So again, I'm telling you, you're making things happen for yourself. So you've been putting energy and love into yourself. That's why things are going to happen. I have confidence in my value and my potential. So that's right, a karmic test, because your value. I reclaim my inner power. I accept and love myself completely. Thus, I am open to the divine light of the universe so that you can attract the love that you want. So I just chalk this up to being a karmic test, as I said many times. And I actually think that I said that in the beginning of this reading. Like a lot of times we get the test the same time as we're about to birth something, because the devil doesn't want us to embrace our spiritual sovereignty, where we can co-create with the universe and really experience God through unconditional love and support, because God is just unconditional love and God's a universe. So when the universe is conspiring to make things happen for you, you're seeing that support. When you're knowing your worth, you feel good about yourself. You can have an open heart and open to receiving, because that's what you're saying. You're saying, I know my worth. That's what this says. I know my worth. And I'm open to the possibilities because I know my worth. And in that, you have to go. And this person says, I know, because I'm not willing to do that. So, like I said, I believe the reason why you came into this person's life was, again, to show them they could have a good relationship, but as long as they stay in that trauma bond, they stay in a place of limitation, lack, and not a good vibration. So, but kind of just, they won't have to do anything. Like, meaning they won't have to try and make a life. This karmic will do everything, because the karmic has been doing everything. And so it's a way that they can most likely just stay in the vibration that they're at, which would most likely be cheating, because this person wanted you to be in a one-sided relationship. So that's what they're used to, being with someone that was just going to give them so that they could stay connected to the karmic. Most likely for financial reasons, and maybe some of you guys were connected to someone that had children, other outside things, but things that have absolutely nothing to do with you. And that is why you did the right thing. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to today's, I was going to say this episode of the Psychic Soul Healer. And remember, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you got to do is write the word of the day. I don't even know what that word of the day is, because it's long gone. Oh, that's right. It's light. So you're going to put the word light in your comment bar, and you'll know if I chose you, that if I wrote the word winner underneath, if I typed it underneath. If I did, you and I would just correspond back and forth on YouTube, figure out the best day, time, and everything else that works for the both of us. And the day of your reading, the live stream link will be right underneath the comments. And until next time, be true to you. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.